Hi there, Jen here. I'm just doing a bit of a check-in after the Brene Brown seminar on Wednesday. It was absolutely fantastic. I love how raw and real she is when she's talking to people, and because you can really relate to her and some of the stories that she tells. So I just wanted to share some of the take-home messages that really resonated with me and share some of the wisdom from the event. So this is the book that she's written, the most recent book of hers, Dare to Lead, and basically it's talking about, and the event was talking about creating brave leaders which can build more courageous cultures, which I absolutely love. I just love what that stands for, what that can mean for people, not just in the workplace, for me as well. Like you can see it. How it can apply to every relationship, every conversation in your whole life. And I like the idea of being a better leader, like personal leadership, not just for leading a team. But anyway, so I like to write notes in seminars. So that I can go back and look over my notes and just learn again and again. So I have written down some notes just to keep me on track. But I just want to get across a few really key points which resonated with me that I hope will also resonate for you. So one of the biggest things which she talked about was the ability to have tough conversations, the ability to step up, be brave, and just choose courage over comfort, which I really think is important, because it is hard to have those hard conversations, isn't it? It is hard to potentially have those confronting conversations because you really don't know what the outcome's going to be. And that is part of showing up, and what she calls being vulnerable is to show up, to be seen, without that certainty of knowing what the outcome's going to be. So I think it's really great to just be able to step into that, be brave, and have those tough conversations. And the reason why I think this is really such a great message is because instead of having tough conversations, I find, unfortunately myself as well, I have to admit this, that instead of having those conversations and talking to people, that we as a society, and me, unfortunately I'm not proud of it, but we talk about people, right? And so it's really being able to flip that. Instead of talking about people, it's talking to them, and just showing up and having those conversations. So the other thing about that as well is being able to address behavior that you might not be particularly happy with in a team or something like that, or a relationship, but understanding what's under the behavior. So being able to actually talk about what's under it and what's causing that behavior to actually come up for that person. So I think that will get better results than just being able to solve the behavioral issues, is actually digging deeper and figuring out what's underneath that. So the other thing was talking about being able to reset after failures, after setbacks. And I've done a lot of work on resilience and run workshops on resilience. And really that's what that is, right? Is how quickly can you get back up after having a fall, or making a mistake, or having a failure, and having a setback, is the ability to get back up and brush yourself off and go back in again for another try. And she talks a lot about, there's one particular point which was talking about, you can't teach someone, or it's really hard and ineffective to try and teach someone how to get back up once they're already on the ground, once they've already fallen. So it's being able to teach people how to reset before they actually fall, how to get back up. So it's like creating that environment, a safer environment, to be able to learn how to get back up, and then once they've got that skill set, they can apply it to when they actually do fall, when they actually do make mistakes, for better results, which I think is the best way to do it. And that's why I do a lot of the types of techniques I do in my coaching, is in a safe environment, so that then people can go out and apply it in real life situations. She also talked about courage being a skill set. It's not something that we're born with. It's something that you have the ability to learn. And everybody has the ability to learn to be more courageous, and to be able to step into that bravery. And I really like that as well, because I think that it's something that people just think, I'm not courageous, I'm not brave, but the thing is, you can learn it. So courage requires you to be vulnerable, right? And Brene talked about the idea that we want to create more of a culture in the world that actually rewards vulnerability and courage, which I think is a great concept. So rather than just acknowledging people, like, I don't know, like soldiers for being brave and courageous, that we actually need to recognize that in everyone as well. And I think that if that becomes a skill that is recognized and that is valued and honored, then that's something that a lot more people will step into, which I think is just going to serve so many people in such a great way. So I think the last thing I want to leave you with is this idea that Brene talks about, is choosing what is hard over what is easy and fast. So being able to actually choose potentially the option that is a harder thing to do, like those hard, tough conversations, but being able to step up and have courageous conversations instead of these protective conversations where we play it nice, we're pleasant, and instead of actually addressing what's actually bothering us, or being able to actually address what's in front of us, we sort of cover it over and sort of push it under the carpet, but actually bring that out into the open and addressing it, and then being able to move forward stronger, which I really love that idea. So that's all from me for now. I hope you got a lot of value out of this, and I'd love to hear from you if it's something you want to talk about more, or just make some comments below. If there's anything that you want to add to this, I'd love to hear from you. Okay, see you later.